And exhale, let it out the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. And taking a couple more rounds like that, I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. And letting anything go on that exhale, rooting down, right? Focusing on that grounding. If you're holding tension in the hips already, right? It's Thursday. We've built up a lot of stuff over the week. See if you can move breath through there. We'll move into Ujjayi breath. If that's new to you, it's an inhale through the nose and the mouth is closed on the exhale. So you're creating this oceanic vibrational breath up and down through the chest and grounding the body. So we'll try that together. Inhale through the nose. Keeping the mouth closed, you're exhaling and creating a vibration down the back of the throat. Couple more rounds of that. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And keeping the mouth closed, exhale. And start to release the hands down. Reach the arms up into a big V. Inhale. And exhale, take the hands forward and come into child's pose and let the knees be really wide for this child's pose. And we're not going to be here for too long, but just grounding down. I'm going to turn the music on. So settle into your child's pose, just feel the earth below you. You can rock your forehead left to right. Just taking a little check-in on the body and seeing how you're feeling. Sometimes we show up a little bit differently on the mat than we did the day before. So remember that in poses that might have felt good yesterday and feel a little bit crunchy today, or maybe something today is a little bit easier. Notice all that stuff and just come back to the breath. Shift forward into all fours. Knees underneath the hips. We're going to start to make some big circles with the hips. So pressing the hands down, inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, shifting your left hip back towards your left heel. Wrap it all the way around. And you can make these very big, you can make them very small. Just circles. And the breath can come whenever it feels right. I like to inhale at the top and exhale as I make a circle, but you can switch that. And after your next one, you're going to switch the direction. So sending the hips back towards the right heel, wrap around the left. And just letting that breath be nice and smooth. The eyes can be closed. Right, your butt can make a circle without you looking at it, if you can even look back there. And then even it out. Take the hands under the shoulders, bring them back an inch, keep the knees where they are, and turn both hands around. Fingers can be pointed towards the sides or back. And as most of you know, we do this stretch every single class. So we text message all day long. We type, you're going to push your hips back. We do all this stuff with our hands, and then we try to do planks and all these things. So really getting a good stretch is super important. And keep shifting back. Inhaling forward. Exhale, shifting back. You might feel a stretch just holding, and that's fine. And you can also turn the hands out a little bit. So find a spot that works for you, do a couple more. You might just hang out without pushing back. There's no wrong way to do it. You're just getting a stretch through the forearm and wrist. And then we'll turn the hands around. And we're gonna do one hand at a time. So maybe moving the hands back a couple of inches. You're turning your right hand over. And you're pointing the fingers towards the left thumb. So right hand is turned over, palm is facing up towards you, and the back of the hand is on the ground. And then you're switching sides. Turn that left hand over. This is a really nice stretch to do during the day. If you're on your computer for a while and you're like, okay, I need like a moment, this stretch, couple breaths, brings you back. And then turn that left hand around. Even out the shoulders, making sure everything's in line. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, threading the needle. We're gonna come right back up with this. You're threading the needle and then coming right back up into that inhale. And exhale, thread the needle. We're gonna do this a few times so you can take your own breath counts here. If you wanna go a little faster, if you wanna hang out down there, hang out down there. So if you just wanna get the shoulder stretch on the ground, you can do that. And this is all working your shoulder mobility, trying to reverse some of that damage that we do from our desks. And take one more. And then we'll even out the hands and we'll switch sides. So if you need to take like a moment to just shake the wrists out, you can even stretch the backs of the hands on the hip creases. And then taking the hands down. We'll switch sides. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, threading under. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, threading. Inhale, up, and again, move at your own speed here. We'll do two more, and if you want to just hang out down there for a moment, hang out. And taking that left hand down. Tuck the toes, push back into downward facing dog, take your time. The knees can always be bent. Pressing the hands down into the mat, pressing the heels of the hands down. And look forward at your hands for a moment. Make sure the thumb and first finger are making contact with the mat. Those two tend to lift up, like that tunnel that's being created, where we find carpal tunnel. So keep pressing that down. I'm gonna come look at the screen at everyone's downward facing dogs, and you can be moving around in your down dog. Nice, second one. Come forward into a plank pose. When you're in your plank pose, hands under shoulders, you can be on your forearms too. I'm only gonna be here for a moment, and then move your shoulders forward a little bit more. Maybe the hands can come back. Yes. You're trying to get the shoulders over the wrists in your plank. Downward facing dog. Nice. And then when you move back into your down dog, you want to keep that same hand position. So maybe bending the knees a little bit more, everyone. And then press your chest back towards your thighs. So you're allowing that to push back. If you're feeling pressure in the wrists in down dog, you can always widen the hands. Bend the knees. Look forward towards your hands. Softly walk or softly hop to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale, really long spine. Exhale, folding forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, stand up, reach the arms up, high prayer. Exhale, hands to the chest, Samasthiti. Release the arms, soft chair pose as you stand right back up. And the arms can be wide as we start. Diving down, hands plant down to the mat. Step back into plank pose. Inhale, shift shoulders forward. Exhale, lower down all the way. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders come back. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You can come through child's pose. I tend to come through child's pose a lot in my vinyasa, right? Do what feels good for you. Inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, pull the belly in. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, stepping right foot to the top of the mat, inside right hand. And you can use your hand to bring that foot forward. Left knee comes down, get a really long stance. Untuck the toes, arms reach up. You're in a nice long runner's lunge. I usually make this a shorter lunge, but we're gonna make it a little bit longer here. So you're getting a stretch in that left side, lifting up through the chest. One round of breath. And take the hands down to the floor. Tuck the back toes. Shift back so that the right toes are pointed up. We're not gonna be here for very long. Getting a calf stretch, hamstring stretch. Look forward. Shift forward, plant the hands down, plank pose. Vinyasa, lowering down halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let's take it to the left side. Inhale, left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Last one, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat. Bring that foot forward, extend that right leg back. Knee comes down, untuck the toes. So super long, reach the arms up. If you have stuff going on in the hips, be careful with this super long stance. You might shorten it a little bit. Arms are nice and wide. Inhale. And exhale, take the hands down. Tuck the right toes. Shifting back. Left toes are pointed up. So this is a flexed foot. And you can be here too. The position, I'm just moving back a little bit more, but you can be pretty far forward and it's a really nice stretch. Same stretch. Left foot plants down, hands come down. Find your way through your vinyasa. You can always skip it. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward. Hop or step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen the spine, inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale the arms up, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastiti, grounding through the feet. Soft bend, stand right back up, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, diving down, hop back or step back. Plank pose, lowering down halfway or all the way. Move through it, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat, high lunge. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, take the hands right back down. Step back, vinyasa. If you have stuff going on in the shoulders and you're doing your vinyasa, you can always skip the chaturanga part and just push right back. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat. Reaching up, high lunge. Find that stance, then take it down, vinyasa. We're all flowing at our own breath count, so if I'm going too fast or too slow, please move at your own breath. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. Set up your stance, arms reach up. We're shifting forward just a little bit. So the chest is reaching forward. You're activating that right glute. Stepping forward, left knee comes up. Find that balance. Take your hands to the back of that left hamstring for a moment. Rooting down into that right foot a lot. Really feeling the ground below you and letting that allow you to lift a little bit more. Release the arms, palms facing towards the top of the mat. Warrior 3. Left leg is reaching back. Soft bend of the right knee. Left toes are pointed down, arms are reaching back. So rooting and grounding into that foot you have on the mat. Slowly stepping left leg back, low lunge. Left hand under left shoulder. Right arm is reaching up. We'll take this twist here. A few rounds of breath. Right hand comes down, step back, vinyasa. Come into your breath and down dog. We'll wait for everyone to get there. We'll switch to the left side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Reaching the arms up. So keeping a nice steady leg stance, finding that strength in the legs and the stability. And if your arms are in your ears, try to drop that down and let the shoulders open. Shifting chest forward. Stepping forward, right knee comes up. You can take your hands on the back of that right hamstring. And then feel what's going on in that left foot. Nice, everyone. Lifting the chest, shoulders are down. Find that stability and the strength. And then bring the breath in, soften it a little bit. Release the arms. Palms are facing towards the top of your mat. Slowly shifting into warrior 3, so the hips stay facing forward and then they start to hinge towards the floor. Right leg reaches back for that warrior 3. Try looking down so that the neck can be an extension of the back. Your spine goes all the way up there. Slowly taking it down into that low lunge. Right leg comes back. Hands come down. Line that right hand underneath right shoulder. Left arm reaches up for a twist. So when we start to add side planks into this, really important to stack. And that back knee can be down, right? Nice options, everyone. We're just getting open a little bit more into the shoulder. Left hand comes down, step back, vinyasa. Moving on your own pace. And just making a note, if anyone is pregnant and we're doing twists, you're gonna twist the opposite way that we twist in class so that you're not twisting across the belly, that you're twisting open. And then everything will be a little bit wider. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. Inhale the arms up. And we're moving through this a little faster, shifting forward. Left knee comes up. Reaching left leg back, warrior 3. Arms can be in front of you this time if that feels okay. Otherwise, arms are reaching back, or you can clasp the hands. Really lengthening back through that left leg. Feeling the ground rooting down. Low lunge twist, release the hands. Set up that low lunge twist, right arm reaches up. We'll take it into side plank. Right leg is gonna stack on left. So you're taking that outside edge of that back foot down, or you're dropping left knee down and taking that side plank. So you can be stacked, any variation. Your forearm can be down. I'm just gonna go through a bunch of different variations here, but couple rounds of breath. Feel the lifting. You can also just lay on your side. And when you're ready, take it into your vinyasa. And we'll all make our way to down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat. High lunge, arms reach up. Rooting down into the feet, shift forward. Step forward, right knee comes up. Warrior 3, reaching that right leg back. Arm position is up to you. If you feel pressure on the shoulders, open it up. Maybe clasping the hands if that was nice on the other side. Release the hands, low lunge twist, slowly take it down. And sometimes with these transitions, it feels a little wobbly. I know that I've been falling over in most of my transitions all week, so just laugh about it and come back to the breath, set yourself up in the pose. Side plank Vashisthasana. So taking any variation of side plank that feels good for you. A lot of times each side feels a little different. You can be on your forearm. You can be laying on your side. You can ditch all of this and meet in your down dog. And we'll all meet there together. Taking that hand down. Find your vinyasa. If you want to grab a sip of water, grab a sip of water, and then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. Setting up for warrior 2. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. Back heel comes down. Opening it up for warrior 2. Spreading through the center of the chest. Pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. Yeah, nice. I always like to check in because I'm like, I don't know where I am in space unless I'm really have taken a picture of myself and look at it. Which is one good thing about Zoom, right? You can kind of see what you're doing in the poses. Bend that right knee a little bit more. Press into the outside edge of that back foot. Flip left palm, right palm, reaching back, peaceful warrior, opening up. So you're allowing that right side body to open up nice and big. Maybe close your eyes. Letting the hips open a little bit here. Lengthen right leg. So only thing is moving, right leg is lengthening, and reach back a little bit more. Slowly moving into triangle pose. Right hand reaches all the way forward and down on the inside of right leg, and left arm reaches up. I like to shorten my stance a little bit here to give me a little bit more room to open, which is an option. If you're working with blocks, you can take a block on the inside of that right foot. And then just open the chest. Cycle open that rib cage a little bit more. Take both arms up. Parallel the feet. Option to take the hands and clasp them behind your back. Or you can just open them wide. We're coming into a forward fold, so arm position is up to you. If you want a little bit more in the shoulders, widen through the shoulders, and then fold it down. Let the head drop. If you're clasping the hands, let the arms reach a little bit more and shift a little bit more. So making that connection of the feet, and once you're grounded, then you can move around with ease. And yeah, playing around in the fold. When you're ready, you can let the hands drop, and then just let the head be heavy. Hands can walk behind you, so you can get a nice fold all the way down. Reaching back, close the eyes maybe. If you feel like you're leaning all the way into the heels, try to shift forward a little bit into the feet and see what happens to the balance, and then grip that down. Nice, everyone. Taking a couple more rounds of breath, getting a little bit lower. Nice variations, everyone. Release the hands. If they are behind you, walk them forward. Locate your right foot. Turn that right foot to the top of the mat and step to the top of the mat and fold. So we're folding at the top of the mat. There can be some space between the feet or not. Chair pose, arms reach up, shifting the hips back. So squeezing into the glutes, rooting down. Arms are wide, getting a little bit lower. Use your breath to stabilize, to soften. Maybe close the eyes for a second. Think about how much you like chair pose. Raise your hand if chair pose is your favorite pose. Excellent. Hands come down, vinyasa. Hop back, step back, find your way to downward facing dog. Once we get to down dog, we're switching sides. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior two, back heel comes down. Opening up the arms. And reaching from the center of the chest. If you find that you're like shifting super far forward, see if you can line your torso up right between the legs. And then open the arms, spread the fingers. Left knee is over left ankle, so if you need to make a little adjustment, nice everyone. And then gazing over that left hand, feeling that warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, feeling the strength and then finding a little softness. I know it's a long warrior two. Flip that left palm, peaceful warrior, reaching back, open up. Open up that left side. And keep the leg position exactly how it was. Yeah, nice, everyone. Opening up a little bit more. Imagine that I'm pulling your right knee, your left knee forward, and I'm pushing open on your side body. If you've taken my class in person, you kind of know what that feels like. Lengthen that left leg, reaching back a lot. And now imagine I'm pushing you a little bit more right in that rib cage to open that side. Slowly gliding into triangle pose. Left hand on inside of left thigh somewhere. Right arm is reaching up. And again, I like to shorten my stance so that I have a little less pressure on the inner thighs. And then open as much as you can. Really opening the chest. Like I'm standing behind you and pulling your shoulders open, like there's a wall back there and you're leaning back. Couple more breaths. Any variations that you added on the other side, go ahead and add those. And take both arms up to the ceiling. Take the hands to the chest, parallel the feet, and then you're going to turn the toes out. So you might adjust the stance. We're going to take goddess pose. So we're pushing the knees out. Chest is lifted. And you can adjust your feet as much as you need. But you want, so if I'm going to over exaggerate here, but if the knees are super far in, you want to open that up. So it's this external rotation of the hips, right? We're getting into the hips here and getting nice and low, and then still activating through the glutes. Let's stand up for a second and shake the hips left to right without moving feet. Good, and then slowly, so as you go down, you're activating the glutes and allowing them to allow the knees to open and get a little bit more space. Good, reach the arms out. Taking a few breaths, press into the feet, grip down into them like they're fingers. Squeeze your glutes. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, lower, opening up through the hips. Good, inhale up. Exhale, open. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, open. Take your hands on your hips. Turn the feet so they're parallel and fold. Maybe the knees are bent. You can stay here, or if you want to take headstand and you feel ready for that, you can. I'm not going to demo it. I'm happy to demo it at any point after a class. But if you're doing headstand, you're getting super wide. And the arms will start to reach back. And just see if you're making contact with the head down. And otherwise, you're grabbing the feet, grabbing the legs, and just feeling that fold, feeling the hips moving back a little bit more. The knees can always be bent. Taking a couple rounds of breath. Really nice, everyone. And then folding a little bit more. Start to lift the chest. So we're going to stay in this wide stance. So this pose is Prasarita. You're going to stay a little bit wide. The hands are going to be down like right below your face. So if you need to shorten your stance or widen it, or if you have a block, you're going to take your right hand down, left arm is reaching up for a twist. Working with keeping the hips pretty neutral, so trying not to let that left hip open as the arm goes up. And then you can look up. Switching, right hand comes down, left hand comes down, right arm reaches up. So you're switching that twist, and again, keeping the hips pretty even. You can even just put your hand back there to see what's going on. And keep switching. So you're going to switch back and forth. This is really opening up through the middle of the back, as long as the hips are planted down. So keep that going. Nice, everyone. Really nice. Maybe the eyes are closing. Just feel that twisting and that opening. And you'll finish after the right arm goes up, and then both hands are going to come down. Bring the feet together. Roll all the way up. And then take a walk to the top of your mat. Feet are underneath the hips. You're pressing down into the feet. Hands are at the center of the chest. We're coming into chair pose. We're going to take it into a twist. So you can start with the feet wide. If you know that you like to have them together, you can bring them together. There's lower back stuff going on, you'll keep them wide, and you're twisting to the right, left elbow outside, right thigh. So again, you can bring that closer. And then getting a little bit lower so that you can feel that twist. Option for left hand to be down and right arm to be up, so left hand in front. Or option to open the arms. And also an option if you like to do crow pose, half side crow pose, you can come into side crow or any variation that you like to take there. And if you're not taking any of those variations, you're twisting, you're staying where you are. Just throwing it out there. Whenever you want to add something, just add it. If you're doing an inversion, please stay there. If you're not, you're folding forward. Maybe some space between the feet. So if you're doing an inversion, go ahead. If you are done twisting, fold. Big inhale. And exhale out the mouth, let it go, the sigh. One more like that, inhale. And let it out the sigh, exhale. Chair pose, roll it up. Hands at the center of the chest. We're gonna twist to the left, right elbow outside left thigh. So again, you can have some space. And any variation, it might be different on this side. If you're taking your right hand down, it's gonna go in front, and left arm is gonna reach up. And then opening the arms, if you took side crow, I'm gonna come look at the screen. So taking a lot of variations that feel good. If your right knee is coming forward a lot, get a little bit lower and shift the hips back a little bit. Nice options, everyone. Nice, Mafe. If you're inverting, you can stay there. Otherwise, we're folding. Crow pose is an option, regular crow pose. If crow pose is new for you, we'll go through the steps a little bit. And if you want to skip that, take it back into down dog, maybe grab a sip of water. So crow pose, feet are underneath the hips. Hands are in front, and they're about one handprint spaced between the hand and feet, hand and foot. And you're lifting the heels and bending the elbows. So it's this chaturanga arm. And you're shifting forward, and then I'm looking forward in front and shifting. And that's all I'm gonna do. Just making the connection, pulling the belly in. You want the hands forward as a little bit more, just to be able to shift forward, and then look forward. Make sure you're looking forward in it. And if your wrists are bothering you, crow pose is usually not the place to be. I know, we always want to do all these poses, right? And these poses don't really matter. What matters is the breath and paying attention to that breath. Let's all take it back into a quick child's pose. If you're playing around with crow pose, still play around if you want. Child's pose, maybe the knees are a little bit closer than the earlier one. Nice deep breaths. Inhaling through the nose. And open mouth, exhale. A couple rounds of breath. And then slowly make your way into down dog. We have one more standing sequence, and then we're going to take it down to the floor. Meeting in downward facing dog, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Shifting forward and stepping forward, we've been here before. We're taking it into tree pose this time. Left foot goes on the inside of right thigh. Option for that foot to be on your calf. And if you have a block, you can place the block on the floor and the foot on the block. Really trying to avoid that knee joint. And then creating some branches. Pressing the foot into the leg, leg into the foot, giving yourself a little bit more lift. And right, coming back to the purpose of this class, grounding. Feeling the groundedness, feeling the earth below us, and then use the breath to soften, distract the mind from whatever's going on. Try closing your eyes for a second. If you want to take this into Utthita Hasta, you can stay in tree pose, or you can grab that big toe of the left foot and extend the leg out. That's just an option, or you're staying in that tree pose. Wherever you are, finding breath. And release both feet, drop down wherever you are, give it a little shake. We're gonna step the right leg back, so we're in that high lunge. Just setting up the hips. Shifting forward, stepping forward, right knee comes up, tree pose. Right foot on inside of left thigh or left calf. Hips are pointed forward. Setting up and then releasing a little bit. And stay in your tree pose for a few breath counts if you wanted to grab that big toe and bring the leg out. Wherever you are, breath. Try closing the eyes and just see what happens to that left foot, right? We're taking away a sense. And releasing down. And then take a second, we're gonna come into the splits pose, and there's a ton of variations, not a ton of variations, but we did this at the beginning of class. So what we're gonna do is shift back, so we'll be here, and I can show you this first if you wanna come down to hands and knees position. So this is one option, and again, you can be a little bit farther forward, and if you wanna play around with the splits, I'm gonna do it on the other side, but so the leg is in front, and then you can extend that leg back, and if you have a block, you can place it right under the medius part of the hamstring. So we're gonna do one or two of those. So we'll come into that all fours position for a second. Tuck the toes. Come into downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step right foot inside, right hand, drop left knee. Shifting back. So this is one position, you can stay here. If you want to play around with that full split, pad up that right thigh. And if you want to try a couple other things, what I like to do sometimes is just take that left foot down, sit back, and I'm going to turn around so you can see my other side. But I like to put a block, which I don't actually have right now with me, underneath this glute so that I'm just sitting on that. And I have a foam roller, so I'm just going to show you with that, which is not going to be the most steady device, but you can place a block or anything underneath. And now I have this little elevation, which is kind of rolly for me, but you can place something underneath there and then folding. And you can put anything underneath that leg. So play around with that pose. We're getting a hamstring stretch, we're getting a calf stretch. And I'm just folding over that leg, and you can be a little bit more forward with it. Letting the head drop down, just releasing a little bit. And if you're in the full splits, yeah, just folding wherever you are, nice options. And then we'll start to shift forward. Step back into down dog. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step left foot to the top of the mat, right knee comes down. And shift back. So you can stay pretty elevated and forward. Or you can shift back so your butt is on your heel. Or you can play around with that splits by taking a block underneath. I'm putting the block like right in between, like the middle part. Wherever you are, folding. Lots of variations. Taking another couple rounds of breath wherever you are. As we start to slow down, the brain is going to turn on with your entire to-do list for today, for yesterday, for all the days. See if you can use the breath to just come back. Come back to the breath. Shift forward, step back. Final vinyasa if you want it. If you're not taking a vinyasa, shift back onto your knees. And we're going to come onto our backs and we'll set up for bridge pose. So take a vinyasa, take whatever you need in that vinyasa. And And then we'll come onto our backs. Grab water if you want to grab water before. And we'll stay on the floor, so anything you want for Shavasana, grab it. If you want to cover your eyes or need a blanket. So we'll set up for bridge pose. Coming onto your back. And bridge pose is a very nice hip opener, and we've done a lot to do hip extension, so working on getting the hips a little bit higher. Bringing the feet close to your hips. I like to sometimes hold the side of my mat for a little bit of a grip, and you're pressing all four corners of each foot down and lifting the hips up. If you're feeling pressure in the low back, I want you to widen your feet a little bit, and I normally don't recommend a wide feet bridge pose, but turn the toes out a little bit and lift, and then you can get it more in the glutes. And if you're feeling fine, keep it narrow and keep lifting. You can even touch like right in the center of your butt and make sure that part's activating. So that's what's activating when we do squats and things. We want to activate this part of our butt. And then maybe you're clasping the hands under the back. Make sure you're looking straight up towards the ceiling. Just listen to my instruction, otherwise your neck is going to feel a lot of pressure. Lift a little bit more, everyone. Press into the feet. And try lifting the heels. And then keeping the hips lifted in that new position, try lowering the heels. Nice. Lift a little bit more. Heels are down, butt comes all the way down. Nice. We're going to set up for one more. So if you want to take wheel pose, we've done a lot to open up. That's an option. Or another bridge pose. Or staying on your back with the feet wide and the knees together. And you'll just rock left to right. And this is where we'll all end up. But if you just want to chill between this last bridge and wheel, go ahead. If you're heading up to bridge or wheel, go ahead and set it up. Planting everything down, stacking the joints, lifting. Making space for breath. And if you're in wheel or bridge, slowly taking it down. Knees come together, feet are wide. Shoulders release. And then rock the knees left to right. We're going to set up a little twist here, so there'll be a couple options. You want your feet to be wide, so almost touching the edges of the mat depending on how wide your mat is. If it's like crazy wide, don't worry about that. So the knees are going to have some space and you're just dropping them to the right. So the feet not touching, and then if you want to take your right ankle onto that left thigh and open, you can. This sometimes creates a little back pain for me, so be mindful of that. And then you're going to be looking over that left shoulder. So any variation, you can stack the legs, stack the knees. You can also have that right leg long and left knee over. So legs are going towards the right, gaze is going towards the left. And you can find any variation that works for you. You can also look straight up towards the ceiling. And just focusing on the breath. Seeing how you feel on the mat, remembering why you came to class. And then we'll start to switch sides. So taking that ankle off if that's the position you're in, come back through center. Feet are wide on the mat, knees are towards the center, and just rocking left to right. And then you're gonna switch sides, so you're letting the knees go over to the left. Then you're taking that left ankle onto that right thigh. An option to take the knees stacked, or that left leg can be long. So just twisting the legs over. And you're looking over that right arm or